Hi, howdy. So it turns out a lot of you really liked the Warrior Cats store video that I made a few months back, and yeah, that's a lot of people. So I'm doing a very quick, much lower effort video that's unscripted for this one. There's a reason for it at the end, but we're just gonna go over the mini plush cats that have been released. So these guys were teased for a few weeks in pairs on the official Warrior Cats TikTok, I believe. So I believe that the order it was revealed in, it was Firestar and Scourge, and then Graystripe and Ravenpaw, and then recently we saw Tigerclaw and Brightheart. So let's get into them. So my first initial thoughts was very positive. Um, I feel very powerful personally. I am acknowledging that I'm being delusional here, but just look at this. Look at this. So my first initial concerns with this release is the size and the quality, and I think that with the new product photos, I'm kind of justified in those feelings. So the issue is that these are 6-inch plushies, right? Which isn't like, it's not impossible to make plushies that small. The issue I have is I do not trust the Warrior Cats merchandise website to really have good quality control, and kind of feels like those fears were warranted here. So we're going to play a little game. I'm going to individually review and rate all of the plushies, and then if they are below my 5 out of 10 score, I get to edit them a little bit to what I think they would change. So first things first, let's go over the price and stuff of everything. So they are 6 inches tall, and they are around $15 for individual purchase before shipping. This falls into the issue I was talking about last time, where I have a lot of grace with artist-made products having a high price point. I'm still conflicted as to what I should expect for the Warrior Cat store, because I know it's technically not a place where they are going to have the same amount of funding, but I still feel like I am paying an outrageous premium for something of subpar quality, I guess. You can also get the 6-pack for $85. That would save you around $5 instead of buying the 6 individually. So, as stated before, it has Ravenpaw, Firestar, Graystripe, Tigerstar, my goodness, Scourge, and Brightheart. Brightheart being the only girl for some reason. First up, we have Firestar. For this one, I'm also going to just go over the general things I like and dislike about the plushie designs. I think it's a cute shape. I think it's a really good change from the old plushie designs. They're still going to continue making those, I believe, but I think this is a step in the right direction. In my opinion, it's still not perfect, but they are headed closer to what I think is correct. I like that the face is readable. I like that there isn't like 5 different dimensions I have to look at to find the nose. I love the embroidered whiskers. I like that the markings aren't airbrushed, and I just really like that they have the ability to express now. I have issues later with like how they chose these expressions, but I am glad that the cats are able to be emotive now. The clan placement was the biggest issue I had when these were like released today, because we didn't get to see anything other than a front shot in front of the books until today. So why are the clan placements embroidered with white? Why can't they just change it to match the character's thing? Because here's the thing, there are different embroidery threads that would match them. It would probably require a bit more work, but it doesn't make sense, because you're going to see later on, Firestar here has a dark green for his ThunderClan symbol. I think that works great. Really, I just find the white annoying. Later on, you're going to see different shades of green for ThunderClan, and then you're going to see ultramarine blue ShadowClan, which is a choice. But moving on, I feel like for Firestar personally, this expression does not match his personality. I am fine with him smiling. I feel like the expression communicates a sort of mischievousness in the character. And whilst I think that younger, like, Fireheart was more mischievous in that sense, it doesn't really match his overall character for like the rest of the book series or the arcs going forward, right? I think he would have benefited from having like a more softer expression without the little fang. I think the fang is adorable. I just don't think it personally fits him. So I give him a 7 out of 10. I do think that the circle mouth, the embroidery on the edge, feels much larger than it needs to be. Once again, I have never manufactured plushies. I don't know if this was something that would have been able to be fixed or if it's just like, it is how it is. But it just feels a bit out of place. So I guess I'm just confused as to why they couldn't use the same technique that they did for the darker markings for the mouth. So next up is Scourge. I do like this plush. He looks like a bastard. He looks evil. I think his facial expression matches his character the best out of all of these. I'm a bit sad that they opted for black whiskers instead of white. That's a personal issue I have. I just think it looks a lot cuter on black cats if you can see the little white whiskers. But I think, as you can see, the most egregious part about this is the collar. So the collar is a part of the plush. It's not like a separate piece. And it looks like crap. I'm just going to be open and honest here. It just has these poorly placed... So they're trying to emulate the claws, right? But it just kind of looks like dots that were smeared downwards and doesn't really look like claws to me. It just looks very poorly done. If I am paying a premium for a plush, I would like to be able to have details like that be thought out a bit better. If they honestly just had a separate strip of whatever fabric they're using and just made it like a Velcro thing so you can take it on and off, and then they could have had it be a bit more detailed, I would have preferred that better. I don't like that it's fused with his neck. And then we go back into the conversation about the clan symbols here. I do not know why. So, you're going to see this with Ravenpaw, but the cats that are not inside the clans, even though Scourge is technically a part of Blood Clan, they decided to give him the no clan symbol. For some reason, they still just filled it in with white. I think they could have easily just filled it in all the way with red, or used a black embroidery piece for that. I don't know why. So overall, he's a 5 out of 10. I like him, but I feel like the collar is such a bastardization of his iconicness that I cannot rate him any higher. Next up, we have my least favorite. We have Graystripe here. The positive I have here is that it looks very bullyable, and he has hair tufts, which communicates to me that they are able to add more details to these plushies. I do think they did him the dirtiest. So first off, they gave him male pattern baldness. He is losing his hair quickly. This could be a positive or a negative. I just think they should give him some eyebrows to help with that. I also feel like... So I compared him to the other plushies. His eyes are by far the biggest for some reason, which doesn't feel like it really matches his character. And the mouths are weird because he kind of has this weird lopsided smile, which, like, it works for a cat, but it feels like it goes too far down almost. So it just makes him look very odd. Also, bastardization of his character. He's supposed to be this fluffy gray cat, and yet he has no cheek fluff. Somehow Ravenpaw gets the cheek fluff somehow. And of course, another bastardization of his character is that the stripe just stops. It doesn't go all the way up the back, and it just stops. So I was curious if this was like maybe like a decision they had to make with like the manufacturer being like, it doesn't work, etc., etc. But the thing is, it goes partially up the head, and then you'll see later with Brighthearts is that they're able to do a whole like 3/4 covering on the back of the head. So I feel like it should have been very possible for them to have the stripe go all the way up the back. So, clan embroidery is also disgusting. So for some reason for this one, they made it bright green. An additional complaint I have about these is the photos that I'm showing here. So since the TikTok previews showed them in this really nicely well lit, nicely placed area with the books behind it, and it looks great, right? Whoever took the photos for the front, side, and back views, I feel like they just shoved it in a photo box, did not select the best lighting, and then just took the first photo they did. These guys are not very posed well or lit well. So I don't know if it's a thing of the lighting, but the clan symbol is not the same green that they chose for Firestar. And once again, I don't know why the clan embroidery needs to have the white when they can, if they're using different threads and stuff, they could just find the closest gray to color match it, so that way it's not as obvious. I do think his pink nose is very cute. But yeah, he is a 2 out of 10, so we are going to go ahead. I'll show you my changes to him. I am not a professional Photoshopper, so please be nice to me. I thought that his eyes don't really match his personality. I kind of see Graystripe as this sort of, how do I put this? He's a bit of a bastard. So I feel like the open, round eyes just don't fit him that well. I would have also given him the little tooth mouth, but I was not going to try and figure out how to edit that over with all the details. But this is my makeover for him. I would give him eyebrows so his male pattern baldness isn't as weird. And I would also give him cheek fluff. If you are hearing a screaming cat, that is my son. He is very upset. Here's a photo of him. And then, of course, we have to have the stripe go up the back. This is poorly done because I was using the clone tool and I do not know how to use the clone tool very well. But I just want the stripe to go all the way up the back. That's his name. His name is Graystripe. He should have the stripe going all the way down his back and back of head. And then cheek fluff. Next, have Ravenpaw. So Ravenpaw is actually, I think, the cutest one out of this. I think it really follows the idea that simple is better. I do kind of question, once again, the choice of the expression here. If I am specifically referring to Arc 1, I feel like it just doesn't match him that well. I feel like the round eyes would have worked better. And then once again, clan embroidery on the back of the ears. I think the placement is so cute. Why is the white there? There's like 0 like pure white cats, or like cats that would have that spot be white. So it just looks really odd that they chose to die on this hill of giving the outline a color to match with whatever affiliation they have, and then just fill it with white. But I do think Ravenpaw is the cutest out of all of them. I give him an 8 out of 10. I think the cheek fluff, it works for it. I think it's fine, especially since I think they did it because Scourge and him would look so similar. They had to give Ravenpaw a bit of a different thing to separate him from Scourge. So he is an 8 out of 10. Tigerstar. Okay, so he looks evil, which is fantastic. He looks naked to me, and I think his head is like the most oddly cylindrical rectangular shape I've ever seen out of these cats for some reason. It might just be the eyes, but this is what I think this is like the best example of the quality control thing that I'm concerned about. So his face is askew, and he also just he looks like he got clocked in the face, I guess is the best way for me to put this. And I think his design overall is great. I think his head markings are weird. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's because the face is off center, so it just looks askew. The whole plush looks askew, which hopefully it's not as bad as if they're in person, etc. Oh yeah, for some reason, the clan symbol is ultramarine blue for Shadow Clan, which I don't know what the official clan colors are actually, but blue is definitely an interesting choice for Shadow Clan. Yeah, he gets a 6 out of 10. Not enough for me to want to change him, but I do have my gripes with him. Last but not least, we have beautiful Brightheart. So the reason why I'm so critical about this one is because I love Brightheart. And I think since they use Brightheart in their lineup basically the most often, I think they should invest more money in her. to make her the special little girl that she is, make her stand out. One of the difficult things that you have to think about during business is, okay, I want to be able to do this character justice, but it would cost more on me to have those added details and stuff, when you still want to have everything be marked the same price for this line, right? So it still wants all of them to be $15.99 or $14.99, whatever. But I think, honestly, with her, since she's such a big part of the fandom, they should have just bit the bullet and just spent a little bit more money on her to make her work. Her eye shape doesn't make sense in my opinion. I definitely prefer the open eye shape for her because she's so sweet and she's so friendly. She's also the only plush with an inner pink ear, which is weird. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. It just kind of looks weird because you can barely see it, but it is there. And then, of course, my biggest gripe with the Warrior Cat Store's portrayal of Brightheart is that they always give her face scar this yellow infected look. Yeah, so she gets a 4 out of 10, and this is my changes to her. So I changed her eye to be that open eye expression, and then I altered the color of the scar to be the pink that matches running down her back. I don't know why they would choose another color for this. And then I added cheek fluff to her left or right side because I feel like it better explains that, like, oh, she has been injured in a dog attack, right? She is missing, like, more tissue on the other side of her face, so hair doesn't grow back, etc. I feel like it just adds more to her. I feel like it's a more faithful adaptation. Also, they did not give her whiskers for this, at least in the perspective that I saw, which I guess is fine. I would want her to have whiskers, the little whisker embroidery. So yeah, those are my thoughts and feelings about the new plush line. I am very happy that they are moving in this direction, but I remain skeptical about the overall quality and decisions that the store is making. Will I be getting these? Maybe. My friend Ice Fearless and I are deliberating. We might just split on the 6-pack and just go, who wants which kid? That might happen. I might, if we do end up doing that, I'll make a whole video about, like, actually reviewing them in person and stuff. But I am kind of worried for these. I remember whenever they first released the plushes of, like, the older type, there was, like, a whole quality control issue where the plushies people were receiving did not look like the product photos, and I'm kind of worried that's going to happen here, but we will see. Hopefully they are well manufactured. I always get a little bit nervous around small plushies because I feel like they are always more prone to breakage, in my opinion. So I'm just hoping that they spent the time to research. I hope they spent the time to quality control and test things to make sure that they all work before people receive their stuff. Overall, I feel a lot more hopeful about the changes to the store. They also added, like, a more subtle water bottle design, I think, and stuff like that. They're still going to make the plushies that I hate. I think that's never going to change. They might be slowly phased out as they are testing new styles and stuff, but I am not entirely hopeful that they will ever get rid of those monstrosities. But yeah, so the reason I made this video as well is I released the second wave of Battle Cat pins. So if you are unfamiliar, I am a merchandise artist, and something that I was able to get funded earlier this year was actually my Battle Cat Series 1 pins. So here are all the pins. It's a mystery bag, but I do have, for this wave specifically, C grades that you can purchase, and then B grades, and then the standard, and then the full collection if you are interested. It really helps me out if you guys want merchandise that reflects warriors and stuff like that. My shop has several other things as well. And yeah, happy holidays. I hope everyone is having a good time. Did you guys like Star? I didn't read it because I haven't read a Warrior Cat book in like 5+ years, but it looks really fun. All right, that's all for now. Thank you.